Hi everyone, my name is Georgina Solo and my book is called Shadows of the Carob Tree. It's a novel based on truth and memory and it's set on a Greek island. My heritage is Greek, South African and British, and I grew up in all three countries, so I had a varied childhood. I'm now speaking to you from my home in Crete, from my off-grid tiny house that my partner and I built ourselves in the middle of a very beautiful olive grove. And I'm also a mother and a grandmother and an artist. And I sometimes return to the UK to work as a scenic artist in film and TV. So here we are outside and I'm stood next to one of the olive trees on my land, and it's 800 years old. It was planted by the Venetians when Crete was part of their empire in the 13th century. And this tree, as well as the others, still produces olives, which I harvest and make organic olive oil. So you can hear the cicadas in the background today. It's very hot, although it's still early in the morning. We're expecting very high temperatures because of the massive heat wave here. Some of my artwork I've incorporated into the build of the house, like my stone carving is in the wall, and there's other stone carvings as well. And there'll be pictures of some of my paintings in this short video. So why I wrote the book was really to give myself a voice, because I felt that my voice had been silenced by my family of origin. And it's based on a true story. However, I turned it into a novel because I wanted the freedom to explore other characters' points of view. It's a compelling story, and I wanted to include things like magic realism because I have a great interest in Greek mythology, and of course in mythology we have magic realism, spirits in the trees, and the whole of nature is alive in some way. So in the book there's a carob tree which features fairly heavily, and there's also quite a lot to do with climate change and climate catastrophe. So there's a quote that I read which I think is relevant to my book. It's by somebody called Dr. Diane Kopka, and it says that trauma isn't just what happens to us, but also what gets silenced in us. And when we tell our stories, even the land listens. So the book is about Connie, the protagonist, who unwillingly has to return to the Greek island of her childhood to care for her dying parents, who've been abandoned by her brother. And it's basically that she discovers a tangled legacy of greed, lies, secrets and manipulation, and a lot of betrayal. And in a way, I suppose the readers who identify with this book might find it helpful when reading about Connie's narrative arc, where she starts off as a rather resistant but cowed character, and in the end becomes a sovereign woman and somebody who's been healed through her experience. There's another quote which is by Charles Dickens in David Copperfield, and it goes like this: "It is in vain to recall the past unless it works some influence on the present." And I'm hoping that my book will influence the present of the readers, and my present, and also the present of my family, in terms of the fact that the generational trauma of our family line has been now broken, and so the present is improved.